Yes, line is to the right. Yes, this is the live viewing of Raider Reaction. Yes, sir. No pushing. No, please, line is to the right. Yes, ma'am. The VIP line is to the left. If you give me your name, I'll see if you're on there. Go ahead, step to the left, man. Hey, man, I don't mind if you smoke that at all, but you can't smoke that here. You're going to need to take that over there, away from the crowd, please. Thank you. Yes, this is the live viewing of Raider Reaction. The commish will be here tonight. Please, line is to the right. Yes, sir, I know it won't be much longer. I apologize. They try to put on a tight show. Yes, ma'am, we will let the VIP in first, I promise. You're VIP for a reason. What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Let me give you some simple directions. Shall we? Since I know it's been a minute. Some of you are finding our new address still. So, the directions are good, especially late in the evening. Been into the herbal refreshments, the adult beverages. Nobody's here to judge. We're just down the street, past the house, with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a gentleman. He's a scholar. Slip him what you should. He'll point you in the right direction. He'll tell you to take a left and then a right. And as you find yourself strolling down the street minding your goddamn business, a cool breeze will hit you that will chill you right to your skeletal core, and you'll find yourself asking, was that the autumn wind? Oh, you goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep, dark alley? Well, of course you should. Because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call Deep Behind the Enemy Line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Tuesday, and it shall remain so going forward, this is the Raider Nation Report with yours truly, a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. What's up, Michael? What's up, Gabriel? What's up, Mario? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Please smash that share button. Please hit that like button. Please hit that follow button. Please help us get it out there into the world. We're trying to get our foothold back in Facebook after the man knocked us down. So any little assistance Raider Nation could help in getting a brother back up, we would appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. It's time to get to it. And we like to start... I guess, man, I don't even know where to start. It's just been such a deflating week. You know, you came in with so much promise, and as the day unfolded on Sunday, as the other members of the AFC West lost ahead of you, it started to unfold this gift that you could grasp by the end of the day. Sole possession of the AFC West was at hand. And you stood again at the door of relevance, The door's open. All you got to do is step through. And you're relevant. You are, everybody's now chasing you. All you had to do is step through the door. And we stood and pissed down our leg again. It's getting to be a sad and repeating fucking movie that we keep watching over and over and over again. We got a lot to get into this show. It's a solid 60 minutes. I hope you guys will stick around. You see, we've got a nice list of topics. Pretty much, probably all the ones that are on the tip of your tongue. So, if you ain't in it yet, and Pete's right, adversity does build true character. I got Pete's right. What's up, Michelle? What's up, Joseph? What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for joining me, each and every damn one of you. You guys are the shit. Appreciate you all. Give yourselves a nice round of applause. Thank you for joining me. All right, moving on. We've got a lot to get to. That's enough of the foreplay. Let's just we got to get right into the meat, man. There's a lot to talk about this week. Let's get into the Week 10 recap. JoJo, the wolf in the house. What's up? Let's get right into the meat of the topic, shall we? Week 10. Most of you seen my Week 10 post-game reaction. I'm sure my reaction was the same as the rest of you. I've had a little more time to obviously put my thoughts together, digest what we've watched. I've watched the film again. I've went over all the tape again, and so now like I'm a little more educated on what we watched, what we saw, and what was the fucking shitball that was Week 10. So I still want to touch first, before I go into the actual game, the fucking stands, the surrounding stands of Allegiant Stadium, and I've gotten so much kickback. I've asked the question. I went into these official groups of the Las Vegas Raiders season ticket holders, where they're supposedly in there selling tickets. They only sell tickets to Raider fans, and I've went in there and asked them. I see groups like that, grassroots groups of Raider Nation fan base that is trying to keep the tickets within the Raider Nation. So I went into some of these groups and I asked, the admins, the guys that run it, what the problem they think it is. And some of the feedback that I've gotten in response was a lot of them are saying it's, PSL ticket holders that bought these only plan on using them maybe once or twice a season, and they're going to sell the rest of them off for profit, and they don't care who it goes to. There's also people doing the same thing that aren't even fans of the Raider Nation, that are just selling these tickets off for profit because it's Las Vegas. It's a tourist market, and hey, while you're in town, come see a game. I think we noticed it more this week because it was fucking red, fucking McDonald's red all over the goddamn stadium. I think that's why we noticed it more, and it stuck out in contrast against the black. But it was bad previous games. The Bears game was really bad, for instance. So this isn't the first time this season we've started to see it pop up. Now, I know for a fact your two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning in the National Hockey League, when it gets to playoff time, they demand that their season ticket holders keep their tickets within the fan base. They will straight up strip your season tickets and give them to somebody else if they see a fucking opposing jersey in the fucking house. They want to know how it got there. They obviously know what seat it's in, who owns that fucking seat, and your fucking ticket rights are revoked. It's very easy to do. And at some point, if this problem persists, ownership is going to have to step in. I hope they were smart enough to put some sort of clause in the PSL contracts. But basically, it's like any other business. You have a right to serve and a right not to serve. If I don't want your money, I'll give you your fucking money back and tell you to get bent. And, as a franchise, you can do that. Other franchises do it. Other franchises have done it. And at some point, if it continues down this road, the Raiders ownership's going to have to look at it, because that you can't. Now that you've moved to Vegas, you can't turn this franchise into the new Los Angeles fucking Chargers, where you have opposing teams come in every fucking week and take your fucking stadium over. You can't have that on a weekly basis. That you don't even have a home field advantage anymore. You got a cute stadium for your opposing fans to come fucking visit and take over. You can't have that. You can't have that. It's so fucking simple. Hey, we saw a guy in a Chiefs jersey sitting in your seat this weekend. How'd he get the ticket? Oh, you sold it to him? You do that ever again, and you won't own those tickets anymore. Problem solved. Problem solved. You may have some empty seats for a few weeks, but it ain't going to be very long. Raider fans are going to know that they can get tickets because they're the only ones that can get them. And guess what happens? The price will come back down to fucking reality. Okay? I've been looking at tickets for road games. I can go buy myself front row tickets right now for Colts Raiders in Indianapolis with 2 weeks left in the fucking season. Both teams are in the hunt still. $267 a fucking ticket, and I can sit in the front row. You want to know what? I can go look at Allegiant Stadium tickets right now for front row. It's not even in the fucking realm of possibility for most normal people. You know, I'll still stroke that stick, but fuck it. It's the Raiders. I'll pay whatever's in the front row. I don't give a fuck. But it is what it is. You know, it's fucking greed over loyalty. And if you're a Raider fan and you have fucking tickets, do your fucking due diligence and make sure they go into the hands of the silver and black, and make sure fucking make a motherfucker sign a contract. If I'm selling you these tickets, you're not going to sell them again. You're going. There's going to be silver and black in my seats, or you don't fucking get them. This has to be corrected. That was fuck. I've never seen anything like that at a Raider game before. That was the worst I'd ever seen. And of course I do believe it's because it was red and it stood out worse. But that was some fucking shit. That was some shit. And I'm telling you, I understand you needed to sell those tickets and the PSLs to get everything done and recoup some of your investment. I get all of that. Now you've got them sold. You got asses in the seats. Now you got to start tightening the fucking rules up a little bit. Be like, all right, listen, we've seen what happened. We can't have that happen again. Here's what's happening going forward. You either accept it or here's your fucking money back and we'll sell those to somebody else. Something's got to happen. That's got to give. All right, enough of in the field or in the stands. Now let's get to fucking what the fuck happened on the field, man. And what happened on the field was a fucking big, gigantic fucking turd left in the middle of the field on Allegiant Stadium on Sunday night. It was a game, and it was still a game into the second half. Just bad mistakes, bad penalties, momentum killing fucking. It was. I don't even know how to describe it. The Deshaun Jackson fumble was just fucking terrible. That killed the momentum. It was a complete swing of the game right there as they go down, put points off of that, and that's your ball game. Now it's almost insurmountable. It was just bad all the way around. I don't honestly have too much positive to say about it. I mean, you couldn't get a lot of pressure on Mahomes. I mean, basically because of the fucking holding and the repeated holding. It's just unfortunate. The biggest thing that I can see coming out of Week 10 is basically two things. And I'll start with one. And it's the car hate is back on 150%. You've got 2 losses in a row now. You're starting to see, you know, the possibility of, oh no, I've seen this happen before. We've lived this before. Is it happening again? So all of that is getting now lumped onto Derek Carr. I mean, it has nothing to do with the fact he's got a new coaching staff that's never been a head coach in the National Football League before. He's running shit. He's helping call shots. You've lost the guy who was supposed to be your halfway number 1 wide receiver. You can't lump all of that on Derek Carr. Now, I can say, obviously, Derek Carr didn't have his best game last week. He definitely didn't have his best performance this week either. But I'm not lumping this game all on Derek Carr. This team was in the game. They were in the game. You had horrible penalties, man. The Alex Leatherwood penalty on the opening drive that absolutely just snuffs the drive that you had some momentum going, and then the next drive you get another penalty from Brandon Parker that helps kill that one. It's just those kind of penalties at the beginning of the game are just momentum killers. When the team on the other side is rolling down and putting fucking sevens on your ass, and you're tripping over your fucking dick with simple fucking procedure penalties. And you can't blame the refs for that. You can't blame the refs for you moving before the fucking snap. That's on you. That's on you. And that's just, that's on you. Oh, Abram can't cover somebody with a fucking blanket, Pete. It's a fucking liability at this point, man. He's wearing number 24, which is fucking cute, but he can barely hold that number up at this point, man. The great Willie Brown wore that number. Charles Woodson wore that number. You're starting to look like Michael Huff that wore that number. I would even say Michael Huff could fucking cover better than your ass. Abram is a liability. A big liability. The one ball, he should have picked that motherfucker. Should have picked it. And it ends up being a touchdown. Goes from interception to 7. Dude, come on, man. Come on. Oh, AJ Cole's lighting the motherfucker up. You'll see the stats rolling. I'll make sure I got AJ's fucking stats up here, man. Because he'll light a motherfucker up. That was the highlight of the game. That and the stupid fucking fork moment. What the fork is this? How do you get a fork in the middle of the field? And the KC guy, he don't give a fuck about safety or nothing. He's like, hey, call the flag. This motherfucker's worried about you getting stabbed in the fucking knee with a fucking fork. You want him to call flag on it. Bullshit. Yeah, our special teams are solid right now, JoJo. I agree. Our special teams are solid. And I like the fact that he's willing to light a motherfucker up, too. That just endears him to the Raider Nation right there. But the car hate is on, and the fact that there is a lack of number one wide receiver, and this is something that I talked about all offseason. I talked about it last year when you went and drafted Henry Ruggs III. Derek Carr, and every great quarterback has that number one wide receiver, has that Robin to their fucking Batman. Every one of them. And you've never given Derek Carr that. The Cooper Crabtree combination, fucking morphine Power Ranger Transformer shit, you put them together, you kind of had a number one wide receiver. Kind of, sort of. That's the best that you've honestly ever had for Derek Carr. That's the best. You've never really given him that true number one. So, you didn't really address it last year. You got Henry Ruggs. You saw what he was. You turned him into this fucking gadget guy who was going to be your new fucking Cliff Branch type, your deep threat, all of that. You found out he wasn't a number one. You figured that out last year. Okay? As much as you were hoping Bryan Edwards, he wasn't going to be your number one. We all knew that. Stevie Wonder could see that last year. So you knew you didn't have a number one. So we talked about it. Darren Waller's obviously the number one. Well, you take Ruggs out of the equation now. Now you don't have that speed. And now that takes one dynamic of your passing game away. And now they're keen on Waller. So now you've got guys that are double teaming Waller. He's getting much more attention. He's getting the number one fucking corner because they don't have a number one wide receiver that they have to fucking worry about sticking their number one stud big dog on all the time. They can fucking stick their best guys on Waller. They can double team him. They can chip him. They can do all kinds of shit to fuck him up. You got to have somebody else to help you spread that. You don't have that. And everybody who's telling me, well, it's fucking going to be Deshaun Jackson. I mean, seriously. If you go and look at Deshaun Jackson and what he's done over the last, I don't know how many years of his career, He's just bounced from one team to another. He came from Tampa, where he bitched. Jameis couldn't get him the ball. He had to get out of there because Jameis couldn't get him the fucking ball. He had to get out of Washington because they couldn't get him the fucking ball. He had to get out of fucking Los Angeles because they couldn't get him the fucking ball. Can you not get the ball? They're not getting you the ball, or you can't get the ball. You can't get targeted. When you're 34 years old and your one asset is you're faster than everybody else on the field, and that's what you've worked off of your whole career, you've always been a one-trick pony. Now you're a one-trick pony with a lot of tread, with a lot of miles, man. Not a lot of tread left. I don't know. I'm concerned about Deshaun Jackson and everybody that thought he was going to be some sort of savior and come in and be the saving grace of this wide receiver core. And he's going to be like a number one, or no, he's not. Okay, he's not. Hopefully he can be a somewhat contributor to this wide receiver core and help out. But I don't see him being anywhere in the top three. People were telling me he was going to start last week. I thought that, what are you smoking if you thought he was going to start? Whose position's he going to take? Seriously, it's what happens with the fact that you didn't address the number one wide receiver position in the offseason is you found yourself in week 9 or 10 looking through somebody else's trash. And what you got was somebody that nobody else wanted. He'd been around the whole fucking league. He'd done thrown half the quarterbacks under the bus already, and nobody else wanted him in their locker room, and you need a wide receiver. There ain't nobody else sitting on the couch unless you want to call Terrell Owens or fucking Ocho Cinco. D-Jax is next. I mean, you see how much Odell Beckham, he was fucking, he swayed it all for the Rams last night, didn't he? Yeah. These guys, both of them, they're not going to do anything for anybody's team. They're going to just hopefully we can get one last squeeze out of D-Jax. But I think you saw the guy was on the field for like 9 snaps or something? I mean, the lack of a number one wide receiver and the fact that this franchise has not addressed it is just insanity to me. Insanity that it wasn't addressed. The fact you really didn't do anything for the wide receiver core from last year other than just fucking cross your fingers and hope injuries didn't happen and that the guys you drafted last year were going to work out. Well, that's a lot of fucking hope, man. You should have had a contingency plan in place. If you look at the depth chart of wide receivers, it's fucking shameful. And Darren Waller's going to catch a lot of heat the rest of this fucking season. And he better be fucking ready for it. That's all I got to say. Moving on, we've got a fucking boatload of O-line issues. You got Leatherwood. You get this guy in the first round. He's supposed to be your savior at right tackle. Now you've moved him to guard. So you're telling me we went and drafted a guard with the first pick this last year? A guard. Motherfucker better be the greatest guard ever for where you went and got him. Because you already blew the 2 first-round picks for last year. I mean, Ruggs, we'll give you a little bit of a pass on that one, but not really. He shouldn't have been a first-rounder. He shouldn't have. That little motherfucker should have never been a first-rounder. He's as fucking thick as a number 2 pencil. You could snap that little fucker. You know how many times I've seen corners put him on his ass? His only chance was to get behind a motherfucker. He should have never been a number 1. So, you got that, and that. So now you got Brandon Parker playing right tackle, where you drafted this guy in the first fucking round. It's just like, and Richie Incognito, we get the news about him again. And I don't know why this dude just keeps getting a pass. He's got a calf issue that's probably an Achilles issue that he's probably trying to disguise as a calf issue, and he just can't get right. Cut that motherfucker, man. Let him go. You're out. You know, he was a cute story for a minute, but I agree. El Pirata, I agree, my brother. It's getting insane. I just don't. You could have went and got a guard, a top flight guard, anywhere in the fucking draft, in the first 4 rounds last draft, man. Why didn't you go get your fucking wide receiver? Seriously. You know, you could have went and got Micah Parsons, who's fucking tearing it up. You could have, could have done a lot of things. No number 1 wide receiver. How do you not address that? How do you not want to go out and get one of these guys out there who's one of the most... you went and got a fucking guard. A guard. Because that's obviously what he's looking like. And, you know, he's got to cut down on the horrible penalties, man. He's got to cut down on the bad penalties. He's got a plethora of them this season. Got to cut down them. I don't know if Mayock's out, Joseph. I don't know if Mayock's out. Because here's my thought on that. Have you met John Gruden? Have you met him? You get in a room with John Gruden, that egotistical fucking asshole, on draft night, and try to tell that motherfucker he's not going to get to take who he wants to put on his team. You're going to be arguing with that motherfucker tooth and nail. And so if Gruden's got his, this is who he wants, this is who he wants, I don't know how much say Mayock had. And the ownership and the other coaches are going to know how much say Mayock had on those nights because they were there. So that may give him a pass. That may get him a pass because Gruden's already fucking fell on that sword for the team. Those can go down as Gruden calls. And hey, man, those were John Gruden calls. And nobody's going to question him. So there's a possibility he may get another year to help correct some of this shit. But he's on a fucking short leash, man. He's on a short leash. They're about to drop that fucking the floor out from under him. And hang it. It's coming. It's coming. He ain't got much time. Now, Mad Max, on a positive note here, let's switch over to something positive. Mad Max is one of the highest rated pass rusher grades from Pro Football Focus right now in the National Football League. Right next to Micah Parsons. Just think if we could have had him too in there with Denzel Perryman. Fuck, shit. We've been fucking wrecking shit. But nah, we got a guard. Yeah, I mean, you make a lot of money on, selling that fucking first round guard merch, but the fucking Leatherwood jerseys were flying off the fucking shelves. Goddamn. So, Mad Max, I don't know, I watched the game tape again, and my God, this guy was held, like, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding, 85% of the fucking time of his snaps on Sunday night. It was insane, man. It was insane. Every time you'd see Max coming from the top, trying to get around, and the guy's fucking holding him like a motherfucker. Every time. It was insane. Like, throw a flag, 1 or 2, a token flag, just so you're like, hey, I see it. I can't throw a flag every play, but I see it. Throw a token, 1 or 2. Nothing. Nothing. Like, the guy, as you see, let me look, he's getting there more than anybody else. So, the fact that you're not throwing a flag, the eyes are on him, it's absolute bullshit. I agree, he was not happy in the presser, Corey. They tried to goad him into saying something, he's like, no, but you can tell he was not fucking happy. It was ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Mad Max has, with the addition of Yannick Ngakoue on the other side, these guys and their quarterback pressures together are amazing. They are getting to the quarterback. They're getting there. But it's the holdings are just you've got to even it out at some point, okay? Everything's got to be at least somewhat on the up and up. Even the shit out a little bit. Fuck. It can't just all be slanted one way for these. You know, how do you come in and you know they've got a third string fucking tackle going and they're not going to get any flags? None? Really? But that's some fucking Hall of Fame performance there. You know, you got Yannick Ngakoue, you got Mad Max Crosby, the fucking Condor, fucking both of them are coming for your ass. You can start third stringers and not even get a fucking flag. It's amazing. No bullshit there, huh? Yeah. Okay. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of bullshit there. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Thank you all for joining me, each and every one of you. Those just joining, those who are with, I'm the Commish. This is the Raider Nation Report every Tuesday night. It's a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're streaming live right now on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. All that shit. But we're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on all that other shit, Instagram. So follow us on all that shit and join the official group of Raider Reaction. Come to the dark side. We've been expecting you. It's real, it's raw, it's uncensored. It's the group that you should be in this Raider season so you can speak your mind. Fuck yeah, we're on Twitter, David. Come on. I've been on Twitter for 4 years. I just had my 4-year Twitter anniversary this week in the fucking Twitterverse. We're Twittering whatever we do over there. We are not live on Twitter yet, though, but that's probably coming in the near future. Oh, we went into that, Leslie. You're late. Come on, we touched on that first. You gotta go back and rewind. You have to go back after the show and start from the beginning. All right, those of you who don't get the notifications, if there's a bell right there, if you pull down, you tap the video that you're watching right now, you'll see that there's a bell right there. Punch that little bell. That little bell has suggestions in there. You have to pick your priority of what you would like to have in your notifications. So if you like and follow the page, go tap on the little video there. You'll see that little bell pop up. Click on that little bell. That little bell's going to tell you, has an option in there. Move that son of a bitch to get a notification to every live from Raider Reaction. And you will get a notification from Facebook. Well, I want some of them fucking cookies, Leslie. What kind of cookies you got there? So that's how you fix that. That's how you fix that. You gotta click that little bell and set your notification, because the options there, what's it say? You got several options. You got all live notifications, suggested live notifications, no live notifications. If you pick that, you're a punk ass bitch. Or unfollow, and we don't want you to hit that one. Don't do that one. We don't want that now. No, we getting carried away. We all friends here. We don't need to hit that button. But that's what you got to do to make sure, because you're on a new page. It's a new page now. Everybody had it that way on the other ones, but you know, now we've got this new one going. We want to make sure you guys can get there, and I mean, that's why. Oh, we're getting to that, David. You see down there, we got that week 11 preview. We're working our way there. All right, man. Mad Max, the Condor, he's the real deal. I mean, you got a freaking steal for that guy where you got him in the draft. An absolute freaking steal. No doubt about that. He is, so you got to give the guys a little props for where they drafted Mad Max Crosby. He has been straight up money in the bank, and you can't fault him on that one. And Leslie, you're just wrong for doing that. Oh, yeah, maybe we'll get retro calls this week, Joseph. I'd like to see that, my brother. I'd like to see that. Well, it's that time of the show. We like to take time. We like to put somebody on spotlight this week. Now, if you would like to be fan of the week, have a little spotlight on your fandom, your little piece, your little slice of the Raider Nation, all you got to do is message the Raider Reaction Facebook page, message our Instagram, message our Twitter, send us a fucking paper airplane with shit written on it, send it by a fucking carrier pigeon, if you want to pay for an Uber to bring it to our door, whatever. Send us a little reason why you think you should be fan of the week, Raider Reaction fan of the week. A little picture of yourself decked out in your Raiders gear, all fucking silver and blacked up. send it to one of our social media outlets, and we'll put you on for Fan of the Week. This week, we got another member of our Raider Reaction hype team. He's been at the couple of the games, road games this year. He's been with Raider Reaction for years. He's one of the founding members of the Prison City Raider Nation Booster Club in Upper New York. Mr. KD Raider, over there in all of his glory. He was just at the New York game, didn't quite go how we wanted, but you know. Katie's been with us for a while, helps us hold it down here, and wanted to put another one of our team members out there. So these guys don't get a lot of the credit. These are all the guys that they're here, man. They're posting the news stories. They're doing all the stuff on the page, and they've helped me keep the pages cracking and live for years. These guys help share it up behind the scenes. They give us lives on the. Shut up! Hey, talking shit. Who's that? Nah, I want you to. You gotta. Nah, JoJo, come on. You gotta at least try to be Fan of the Week. You gotta go step out and send a message. I gotta see a little effort put forward. You want to be put out there? Come on, put your picture up all pretty like KD. Come on. We got to have some effort put forth. But KD Raider, man, he's one of the founding members of Booster Club up there, Prison City Raider Nation. He's been one of our boys here on Raider Reaction for quite a while, helping us hold it down. Seasons. So give him some props. Give him his notoriety there. But if you want to be Fan of the Week, and you're not one of our team members, and we get you on Fan of the Week, I got some goodies I'm going to send you. So if you want to be Fan of the Week, get your picture up on the podcast. Send your shit in. And we'll get you up there. And I'm going to send you some goodies, too, for watching the show and supporting the Raider Reaction brand. Let's get into it, man. Let's jump right into it. It's the AFC West. Where the fuck are we at? We knew what it was up next against when it came in on Sunday night. You knew it was on the line. You were coming in. You're battling for first place in the AFC West. It was all on the line. And you came out, and now you've slid. And how bad is it? I mean, if you go in the groups right now, it's the end of the fucking world. We're so far below 500 that there's no recovery. Well, that's not the case. I mean, that's just mathematically that's not the case. I mean, you're basically a whole game behind Kansas City because you lost to them head to head. But you're sitting at 5-4 and they're 6-4. Okay, that's really only a half game statistically. Kansas City loses this week and you win, all of a sudden, the world's not falling anymore. The sky's not falling. Chicken Little. So, the reality of where you're at in the AFC West is you've lost some divisional games, man. You beat the Donkeys, but you've lost games that could have really locked you in nice, man. The Chargers and the Chiefs currently have an advantage, and that's not where you want to be. You've let that get away. But the reality of the matter is you are right in the thick of things. You've got one more game against both of these guys, all of these guys actually, and you can correct past wrongs. This season is not, things are not off the rails yet. Things haven't got crazy. But we've all been there. We've seen 6-4 in 2019. We've seen 6-3 in 2020. And both of those seasons, almost simultaneously, both of those seasons at that exact time in the season, every talking head on every fucking show on any channel was talking about the Raiders. It was amazing. For like a week. As soon as the last week ended until these games came up, they were the talk of the league. Oh my God, the Raiders are back. The Raiders are back. The Raiders are back. And then they kicked in the door of relevancy, stood there at the threshold, and pissed down their leg. Now, you're 5-2. You went to New York. Loss. You come back home with a chance to right the ship against Kansas City. Loss. you now have a team coming in. Oh, well, let's not get to that just yet, but you've got a team coming in that's got a lot to fight for as well. They've got a lot to fight for as well. Let's take a look right quick at the entire AFC conference standings and where we're at in the conference, because, you know, everybody like the fucking sky is falling, you want to look at the AFC West. Well, look here at your conference. 6-3 is the 2 seed. You're only 1 game behind that. You're 1 game off the 2 seed. The 2 seed's 6-3. And there's only 2 of them. You're not out of anything. You're coming in with a Bengals team who's sitting ranked 8th. You're currently ranked 9th. And you're tied with the Sparklers at 5-4. And you're all tied right now for that last wild card spot. Of course, you would lose that tiebreaker right now. But, you know, this is the middle of the season. I mean, look at that. You are right in the middle of the AFC West and the AFC conference race. Knee deep in it. You've had a coach that's fucking became a dumpster fire and he had to go. You had the Henry Ruggs tragedy. This team's went through a lot of bullshit already. And they are right in the middle of everything. And they're playing a team this week that if you can get a win against this is a playoff team. If you can beat Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, this electric offense that they've got going, if you can handle that, you're right. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. But, there's a huge but to that, though. Big but. Thank you, Robert. I missed you too, brother. I agree, Chad. I agree. There was some good wins in this season. Don't get me wrong. This is a good team, man. And everybody looks at the 41-14, okay? You got to look at the reality of the Chiefs game. What was the Chiefs game? The Chiefs game was a game that if you fucking scored on that Deshaun Jackson fumble drive, you score, that's a fucking 1-score game. That's anybody's ball game late in the game. The wheels came off, okay? The wheels came off right then. It happens. And that's how you end up with 41-point games, where you see your quarterback. When the fuck have you ever seen Derek Carr chuck a ball like he chucked it in that game? That was just that was a schoolyard. I'm fucking done. I've done everything I can and everything's going wrong. Fuck it throw. That's what that was. You've never seen that guy do that. It was just one of those games that fucking came apart at the end. And it just happens. It sucks it was against the Chiefs. It sucks it was on Sunday night in prime time. The world was watching. That all sucks. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me sugarcoat it. Don't let me fucking drop some sugar on that fucking piece of shit and try to hand it to you. Say it's a Snickers. Because it ain't. It was what it was. It was a fucking big turd you laid Sunday night. But it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Now, what you got coming in this weekend with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and their dynamic offense, they are going Mixon, they come after you. They stretch the fucking field and they throw the fucking ball. And Jonathan Abram, Hobbs, who had his worst professional day, that was the worst day Hobbs as a pro had. He had a bad day. Just the defensive backs as a whole. Jonathan Abram, man. If you want to see some improvement, you gotta start thinking about that guy's got to come out of the starting lineup. I mean, it's fucking bottom line. You go back and look at that play that he got scored on, the one he completely fucking miscalculated and missed the that should have been an interception, and it ends up being a touch. You can't do that. You're not a rookie anymore. You can't keep making these mistakes over and over and over. He's too aggressive in coverage. He jumps shit. He doesn't stay disciplined. Frustrating, man. Frustrating. I agree, Michelle. We do need Mullen back. Trayvon Mullen would be a big help. I know he is on the timetable to come back, and we do need him sooner than better. Sooner than later. Man, we need that guy back. But this week is a big game, man. You got your 2 5-4 teams. Your teams that are both needing a win. This is I agree. How's he not cover a running back? That's kind of what you're there for. This is a big game, man. This is a big game where you've now set yourself up. It's like, no. If the sky's not falling, I showed you why the sky's not falling. But now I'm going to show you why the sky could fucking fall. And it could fall real fucking quick. Because this team has a propensity to do shit like this, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. It's Raider Nation for life and all. I bleed silver and black, but let's be real, okay? It's been a long fucking time since we've been a consistent fucking winner and we close the fucking deal. The Raiders don't close the deal. They're like an old man on coke. They can't finish. Can't finish games late in the season, and they can't finish seasons strong. It's just been the fact. Please, let's fucking end that this season. I would love it. But this is a huge game, and here's why. You lose this game, you're on a 3-game fucking skid. And you've now lost to back-to-back playoff caliber type teams. That's going to take a serious shot to your confidence. And you're going in on a short week on Thanksgiving Day to Dallas. Dallas has looked good. Dallas is on an upturn. And if Dallas has a good performance this week against Kansas City, they're going to come in feeling really, really good about themselves on a home game on Thanksgiving. Oh, she said. So, we'll see. We'll see. So, it's an interesting game. It's an interesting game. Because sitting after that, you got Washington, then you got the Chiefs in Cleveland. And then now you've got Denver, Indy, and that home finale. Dallas doesn't lose a lot on Thanksgiving, Raider Jason. You all right? If you remember our last time we played Dallas on Thanksgiving, wasn't a great game. So where the season's lined up right now, there's cause for concern. This is a big game. You have to beat the Bengals. You're at home. You need to right what just happened last week in primetime. And you can do that. One win, it's amazing what one win can do. One win against the Bengals. The Bengals do not suck. The Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase duo, they're for real. This team is on an upturn. They've got a new core. You win this game. Now you're 6-4. Everybody can kind of relax, and you can focus on Thanksgiving. But man, you go into Thanksgiving, we're at home. We're at home. The Bengals is a home game, David. Come on, brother. Come on, man. Keep up with us, man. Come on. Keep up. Damn. I want whatever David's smoking. Pass that on over this way, brother. So you come. This is a big home game, man. You don't want to have a team that's now lost 3 games in a row, 2 at home, And now you got to go on a 3-game skid, losing back-to-back home games, to go to Dallas on Thanksgiving, especially if they're fucking hitting on all cylinders, man. That's recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. You don't want that. No. You do not want to back. This is not a team that has done well in recent fucking history. When you're backed in a corner like that. When they're backed in a corner, they don't come out swinging. They just cover up and fucking go into a ball. We don't want that. It's a big game. You can right the ship this week and set a good course going forward. But this is a big fucking game. I can't emphasize how big of a game this is. And I cannot emphasize how concerned I am about this game. My fantasy team is built around Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I have watched them all season put up stupid stats. I've watched most of their games just to see if they were going to be the guys I'm keeping, because I'm in a hybrid dynasty keeper league. Those are my core. I'm going to keep those guys for years to come. So I've been watching those guys. Those guys scare me coming to Allegiant Stadium. They worry me. They really worry me after what I just watched. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill run all the fuck over this secondary. They concern me. That's why I agree with Chad. We need to run the ball. We need to control the clock. This needs to be a smash mouth football game. Win the time of possession. Win the ground game. And you need to keep the fucking ball out of their hands and keep this score. These guys throw the fucking ball, man. They throw the ball. That's what they look to do. They drop back. You got a guy with a big arm, and you got a fucking guy that can get down the field and stretch the field, and they're not bad, man. They got guys all over the fucking wide receiver core. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. So, we'll see. It's a must win. It's really must win, I think. You put yourself kind of there, getting close to must win time. Just to keep so you're not absolutely backed against the wall. Now it's time. It's that time. You know what time it is. Oh, yeah. It's time for the WTF. We've got to get into it. It's been some bullshit. The taunting penalties are bad enough. Now, the roughing the passer penalties are just absolutely getting the fuck out of hand. Okay, Denzel Perryman gets fined $55,000 for his hit on the Eagles quarterback a few weeks back. That's not even close to the piddly ass fine that Aaron Rodgers got for, basically putting his whole team's health in jeopardy and safety of everybody around him. He gets a little slap on the wrist. But Denzel Perryman, $55,000. You see these flags thrown where the guys are barely even touching the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks don't even fall down. You see calls on Lamar Jackson here in the last week or two where just absolutely egregious fucking calls. Not roughing the passer penalties need to be reviewable. This is a completely reviewable play. Completely reviewable. I understand they tried with the pass interference, and I knew that was opening fucking Pandora's box. Because you can damn near call pass interference on every play if you're going to slow it down and look at it in slowed down speed. You can fucking call a pass interference on 95% of the pass plays. So I thought that was opening Pandora's box. But roughing the passer? That's a whole different fucking thing. That's easy to tell. Yes, he hit him in the head. Yes, he drove him into the ground. Yes. No, he didn't. Oh, shit, I was wrong. He whiffed on him. Shit, no flag. Easy. This is a fucking 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic first down. This is a game-changing, momentum-swinging penalty. I understand The fact you want to save the health of the quarterback. I got no problem with that. These guys there's only 32 of these motherfuckers in the world that are starting NFL quarterbacks. These guys are paid millions and millions of dollars. They're the faces of franchises. I fucking get all that bullshit, okay? I get it. We want to lay them down on fucking cushy pillows every time we lay them to the ground. Okay, that's fine. I got no fucking problem with that. You want to protect him. When a guy lights him the fuck up and he's not supposed to, throw the fucking flag. But review that shit and make sure it was warranted. That's all I'm asking. Okay? That's all I'm asking. And on the other end of that spectrum, that gives the coach the opportunity to throw a fucking red flag if his quarterback's laying back there gets absolutely fucking steamrolled and they don't call it. He could throw a challenge flag and say, hey, don't you think that's fucking roughing the passer? Easily correctable. Easily correctable. You can still protect all of your players and not fucking screw somebody who's just trying to do their job. I mean, you got a whole fucking side of a football field whose number one job is to get to that motherfucker and put him on the ground. At least make it reviewable. It's too much of a pendulum swinging play. It just really is. Make it reviewable. What the fuck? $55,000? Man. I know people that don't make that much a year. You find a motherfucker $55,000 for fucking tackling the quarterback. That's goddamn ridiculous. Goddamn ridiculous. And that's your WTF. That's your Raider Nation report. Thank you for joining me, each and every damn one of you. You guys are the shit. All of you guys, man. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Twitter, Twitch. We're even on TikTok. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck that is. I promise I will not be doing any dances or climbing any milk crates or ripping urinals off the wall. There'll be none of that. It's strictly Raiders. That's it. I promise. Instagram. Join the official group of Raider Reaction. We kicked off 2 new groups this week. If you are living in the Sunshine State, if you live in Florida, or if you are living in the Hawkeye State and you live in Iowa, we've got 2 new geographical exclusive groups. The Florida Raider Nation Dark Side, an official group of Raider Reaction, and the Iowa Raider Nation Dark Side, an official group of Raider Reaction. Both are raw, real, and uncensored, just like our main group. But if you're in those little geographical areas, go get in those. There'll be more to come. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen of the Raider Nation, I am out. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.